In this section, we're going to continue working with the user interfaces project that we started earlier. And this time around, we're going to look at the linear layout example. So I'm going to start with the user interface as I usually do. And even before that, I'm going to set up a string constant for us. So I'm just going to go into the strings XML file and paste that in. What this is a very long piece of text. It is the lorem ipsum Latin that is used as placeholder text frequently and often. And what we're doing with it is basically we're going to display it in a scroll view surrounded by several linear layouts. And really the idea behind this exercise today is not to show you complex or diverse user interfaces, but how you can use multiple layouts together to create a seamless look. What you'll find is that we're going to start out with a linear layout that actually contains several other linear layouts in a scroll view in order to create one general appearance. So I am going to open up that linear layout example, and I'm going to start modifying it. So the first thing that I want is a linear layout at my topmost level. So I'm going to select change layout, and I'm going to select linear layout vertical and click OK. Now we can also get rid of the text box here. We no longer need that. And technically this title isn't going to appear for us anyway. If we look at the Android manifest, you might remember that we gave this activity a theme light no title bar theme. So this action bar will actually be filtered out. You can also select that here. Okay, and so now you can see I have the default look and feel that I was looking for. So now we also have a linear layout that's vertical in place, and what I'm going to do is add another linear layout to that, which is actually going to be a horizontal one. There it is. Now, the other thing I'm going to fix while I notice is these margins. I don't want padding or margins available to me in this outer layout. And of course, we can set them to 0. For now, as you can see, I just basically got rid of them. And you can see my horizontal layout now takes up that whole part. Here's how we're going to customize that horizontal layout. The first thing we're going to do is give it a height of 40 dp. Okay, so that's going to be its height. And we're going to give it a background color of 00FFFF. Okay, this light blue shade. All right, now the other thing we're going to do is add an image view, a text view, and a button into that. So you guessed it, we're creating our own custom-like action bar out of our own elements. So under the images and media, I'm going to drag the image view and select the IC launcher. There's my image view. The image view is going to have a width of 35 dp, which will make the graphic fit a little better in the space that it has. Next, I'm going to add a text view. And just put that right there. The text view is going to show the name of our application. So let's select that for the text property. Okay. And let's make that look a little bit better. Needs a margin left. 5 dp. So it's a little bit away from the image. And then I think we want larger font. Let's try 18 SB. Okay, I'll take that. Let's make the text size bold, or the text style bold. And let's give it a weight of 1. So it takes up the available space. I'm going to give it a margin top of 5 dp as well. Move it down a little bit, maybe even a little more. That looks okay. Maybe one more. All right. Now, last but not least, let's add a button to the mix. Okay. And I think now I'll take that away. That looks fine. All right, so there's my button, and the button is going to have a specific ID, which is going to be lin button top. And let's give it a new text, which is going to say top. And we can save it. So we basically created our own custom action bar. And to continue on with this, the next thing we need is a scroll view. So let's go down to layouts. Let's grab a scroll view interface. Actually, it's under composite. And we'll drop that in. Now the scroll view needs to have a weight of 1, meaning it's going to expand throughout the entire interface, but we'll add that last. And what we wanted to do is basically to match parent on height and the width, and we're good to go. Now the last thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this sort of manually, is I'm going to copy this inner linear layout. This is the horizontal one, and paste it down here below my scroll view. So we're not going to use all of those elements, but we're going to fix this properly. Let's give this a weight of 1. And so now you can see that there's my bottom bar as well. So from the bottom bar, we can remove the elements. The only one we're going to leave is this button. And obviously we want to line the button up to the right. Never get these right. There we are. So the gravity property set to right pushes the item to the side here. And this button on the bottom, we're going to change its name to button bottom. Okay. And the text is going to be bottom. And let's just make sure that it didn't change both of them. And it did, of course. Button top, scroll view, button bottom. That's what we wanted. Okay, so you can see that this editor isn't perfect. Every now and then it gets things wrong. But this is what we wanted. We wanted a scroll view interface inside the our sort of custom header and footer here. And the other thing that we want is we want our Ipsum text to appear in here. So in order to do that, we need a text view. And that text view should be added to the linear layout. Let's see where I put it. So it looks like it didn't put it anywhere. Let me do that again. Let's try it visually. Yes, that's exactly where we wanted it. And let's customize that a little bit to give it that Ipsum text. There. I'm going to save that layout and I'm going to close it. And let's take a look at the code that we need to write here. So in terms of code, we're going to keep things very, very simple. All we really want is the ability to click on one of those two buttons, button top and button bottom. And what we want what we want to happen when we click on one of those buttons is for our scroll view to jump either to the top or to the bottom, depending on which button that we press. So here's the code to do that. I'm going to import these options. And you can see this is the name of the object that we need to make sure is in here. So that's our scroll view object. Okay, so you can see these three are basically the reference to our XML objects. Then we have two click listeners, one for button top and one for button bottom. And the only thing they're doing is in the one for top, we're calling scroll.fullScroll and using focus up. And in the bottom one, we're using scroll, full scroll, view, focus down. Scroll, of course, is the reference to our scroll view interface. Okay, and the code's in place. Let's run it and see what we get. Okay, so clicking on linear layout and scroll view brings up this interface. You can see we can scroll through all of this text. And we have a top button and a bottom button that makes our user interface jump. We have a text view here. This is, I guess, one of the ones that I've added and dragged over to the outline view. So let's remove that. There it is. Now, the goal of this wasn't necessarily to demonstrate how you can scroll to the top or to the bottom, but instead to show you how you can combine multiple views together in order to create a seamless look. So by we started out with a linear layout and then adding to that another linear layout, a scroll view, and another linear layout, we were able to create a interface that has a header and a footer. We can populate the headers and footers with whatever options we want. So here, for example, we added an image, a text view, and a button. On the bottom, we added simply a button. But this could be a row of choices, drop-down menus, anything that you feel is relevant to the user interface at hand. Now, I do want to point out that this is, of course, not the action bar. This is your own custom interface. And as such, if Google decides to change things later on and implement a different pattern for navigating through the applications, your application may fall short of sort of a predefined user experience. This in general falls kind of short of a predefined user experience. But again, this is just an example to demonstrate how you can combine things together to get that seamless look that you're after. All of these things, of course, can be styled using 9-patch and different variations of styles and graphics, so you can get the look and feel that you're after for your given application. All right, I'm going to run this one last time just to make sure that nothing broke since I removed that text view. Okay, the first part of our application looks pretty good. We have a scroll view, we have our multiple linear layouts, and we have functioning buttons, which of course we can position a little better, maybe make smaller, or even just use image buttons and show icons here for top and bottom. but the basic principles are in place. So in the next section, we'll tackle some of the other layouts.